Welcome back. I'm Christopher, aka the Bronze Age Nerd, and today we're going to be talking about Hotshot Comics again, unfortunately. Since that last video I made went out, by the way, that's my most viewed video of all time, so thank you for the support on the video. Hopefully we're helping spread awareness about these kind of scams. The other thing I want to mention before I get into that video is just the amount of people that contacted me through comments or DMs saying that they'd been affected by Hotshot Comics, Asheville Comics, or any of their other names. It was staggering. It really helped me know that I was on the right track making that video, and your guys' response was overwhelming. I do have some more stuff to talk about with stuff like 9.8 pre-screens, but this video took precedence because we actually have updates from Hotshot that I want to talk about, as well as an update from CGC. So one thing that happened after that video is Hotshot Comics took to social media like their Instagram to make some claims about what myself and a few others were talking about. So one thing that came out after that video was released is a series of Instagram posts from Hotshot Comics account. And by the way, these are kind of snarky. I know my face is covering this right now, but this is operating expense. It's the definition from Investopedia about what operating expenses are. It's basically saying that we feel the need to clear something up for a few of you wondering why we spend money on literally anything else while we are trying to get the rest of our comics back from CGC. This is in reference to things like what I said about how Hotshot Comics is going out there and buying up tons of cards on eBay. They have a whole bunch of history you can see from buyer feedback. So you know that they are the buyers. They're the ones buying these cards up. And you can see the seller leaving them positive feedback for their purchases and their quick payment. So that's kind of ironic, right? So Hotshot Comics says, let me explain. Our business is how we make money. We sell things to make that money. We also have to buy things in order to have things to sell. Without the revenue from the business, we have no funds to pay CGC. Keep that in mind. Sometimes, for example, we buy things to sell from eBay. We buy lots of sports cards there. We sell a service involving these cards, wherein we provide a lot of cards to a customer, as well as knowledge to tell the customer when to have those cards graded, and ultimately when to sell them. Without buying the cards, we cannot sell them and make a profit. You know, that's true to an extent, but you also could take the money you already took from customers and use that to pay for your CGC submission fees, or you could have. That ship has already sailed, as we'll see later in this video. Arguably, the most important is product inventory. We are working harder than you can know to get caught up with CGC, which, by the way, is not what a scammer would do. A scammer would have never bothered to send comics to CGC. They would simply disappear. Please consider this post and its content before sending that next angry email. Must be getting a lot of those, huh? Absolutely every order will be completed, even in the few cases where we didn't receive enough of the guaranteed grade. We will go buy those elsewhere to make sure that you get your order one way or another. We appreciate very much the overwhelmingly positive responses we've received from the last post, and we understand everyone's frustration. The past 2 years have been extremely frustrating for us, and we've taken the correct steps to rectify things for good. All right, fine. So let's go to their next post. This time, it's myth-busting time. When you see a photo like this one with that photo of all the slabs that I featured in my thumbnail, your first reaction should not be, those must be someone's comics. They're all your comics? He goes on to say that comics that were not graded high enough to send to customers are part of what's making this up. Comics that were extras after all customer orders were filled for a specific title. I wonder how often that happened. Comics unrelated to those we send off for grading for customers. We're a comic shop after all. We buy collections pretty regularly, and some of those get graded. Also, by the way, one thing that a lot of people took from my video is about the pre-screen CGC 9.8 part of this scam. The other thing that was happening, though, and this happened to a lot of customers, is customers were physically bringing their books or sending their books into Asheville Comics, the physical location, and they were then supposed to act as a third-party facilitator to send those books to CGC, and those customers don't have their money back and they don't have their books. They go on to say that at no point did we steal, scam, defraud anyone. These are facts. Watching videos of some guy who worked himself up into a frenzy by telling himself over and over that he must have been cheated. That guy is an overactive imagination at best. By the way, I believe he's talking about one of the active people that's been talking about this fraud that was frauded by him. Who's done a couple videos, and one of the people that helped me turn me on to what was going on with this fraud. Folks, what I'm telling you is, just like with anything online, don't believe anything without fact checking. Online is a cesspool of guys like these, assuming that there will be no repercussions for their actions. That is so ironic, by the way, because the internet is full of a cesspool of guys like this that scam you, take your money, and also will lie to you about stuff, and they don't think they're going to have any repercussions for their actions. Just food for thought. For the hundreds of folks that are mad at us, there are thousands that had no issues. And by the way, this is always one of my favorite things, right? So this is hotshotcomics.com's account, which by the way is the same as Asheville Comics, and it's all run by the same guy. Asheville Comics had to go in and like that to help boost it at some point, which is pretty funny. So let's move forward to the next post, and this is the one that really got everything going for me. Morning, comic collectors. We've got great news to share. After long negotiations with the CGC Comics legal team, we're making our first of many payments today. That sounds like great news. That'll see us receiving 100 comics returned every week. That's on average. Some weeks will be more or less, you understand. From now on, each and every return box will be open right here on Instagram. As of this moment, I don't know how long it will take for the first shipment to arrive, as this is a new arrangement, but I can say that CGC has been great to work with during this long process, and their main concern, as well as ours, is that all customers receive the comics they originally ordered. We will be in constant communication with them as each shipment is received. They will be notified of every customer who receives a shipment and what they receive. This reminds me, if you have any address changes to share, please contact us. This is going to great lengths here via our customer support so that we can make sure that we have accurate information for you. Our staff is significantly smaller than it once was. I wonder why. So after we start making videos, please know that we will work as quickly as possible to get all orders shipped out to you. But with our current skeleton crew, shipping times will be increased somewhat. Thank you again for your continued patience and understanding. So as you might imagine, after reading some of those posts, and especially that last one, several of us were curious. So myself and several others contacted CGC regarding this. By the way, my contact out to CGC, I'm not somebody who was affected directly by this scam in any way, shape, or form from Asheville Comics / Hotshot Comics. So I just emailed CGC's vice president, and he has yet to reply to my email for comment because I was asking him to confirm the story. But luckily, another CGC representative did reply to one of the victims that got scammed by this person. So you can see, by the way, that that last post was made 20 hours ago. This reply was sent July 6, 10:40 Eastern Daylight Time. And this is from Erica with CGC. And regarding the concerns that this person submitted, here's what CGC had to say. We can assure you that Hotshot will not be receiving any submissions back. That is why we are reaching out to their customers, requesting receipts to show proof of purchase, and also asking for your direct address so that once we go through all the books, we're able to send these directly to each person. I hope this helps calm the nerves. Please let us know if we can further assist. So there you have it. No, Hotshot Comics, you are not having any negotiations that are going to enable you to receive these books back. I wonder if the legal team from CGC is stringing along Hotshot Comics. I can tell you this much. On Wednesday, a court case will begin, which is regarding a legal matter between one of the affected customers and Hotshot Comics. That should get the ball rolling here in a pretty interesting way. Now, as this email suggests, I just want to talk to any of the victims that are out there that haven't done this yet. Even if you send in one book or whatever, or bought one pre-order, please contact CGC. They have definitely gotten those claim forms out to affected customers very quickly. And I bet you anything that the more information that CGC gets from customers, the easier it will be for people to get their books back. Because once they have, I imagine that what they're doing is they have all these books. They took them all from Hotshot. They don't know who you are if you did it through Hotshot. So if they have those receipts, they can kind of take all the books from Hotshot's account and probably start adding up, okay, this one goes to this person, this one goes to this person, and start to build a better, put those puzzle pieces together to get the books out to the customers that need them. So part of the reason that I'm making this video, by the way, as a follow-up, it's important to get this information out there because anytime that like a scam like this gets brought up, there are people out there that say, well, wait a minute, what if you're jumping to conclusions? What if this person really is on the up and up, especially after seeing those replies? Like you saw just as well as I did, people were liking those posts. People still think that Hotshot is acting in good faith. So it's important that we really prove that no, they're not acting in good faith. And on top of that, for some reason, they're trying to make it seem like they're still afloat and still going to be getting you your books. Now, I can only speculate as to what the reason that would be is, but that does seem to be what's happening. So, of course, make your own decisions, come to your own conclusions. But when somebody is telling you that, don't believe everything you read online, and we're still in business and we're still working with CGC, and yet they offer no proof whatsoever that that's happening, well, here's proof right here. This is a CGC representative getting back to one of the customers that emailed this morning when they saw that post and said, hey, something fishy is going on here. Are you guys working with Doug, a.k.a. Hotshot, a.k.a. Asheville Comics again, and they flat out said, no, we're not doing that. Now, of course, if I do receive any kind of comment from CGC, like that confirmation I was looking for from the vice president, I'll make sure to pass that on to you. At this point in the video, I do want to take a second to thank all my channel members. Their names are scrolling by on the screen right now, and they absolutely help me run this channel every week. Without their support, I couldn't do some of the stuff that I do on this channel, and I couldn't afford to keep this channel running in some way. So that means a lot to me, and I really appreciate it. Also, I just want to say, if you have any information about this scam or other scams that you want to talk about, my Discord is a great place to talk about that, or to DM me. You can DM me pretty much anywhere if you want to share that information with me. A few people have reached out. I'm investigating a few other things. I don't take this stuff lightly. I do need some evidence before I make a video like this and talk about some stuff. But I will tell you that I have a very personal story to share that's going to be coming up very soon about me being affected about something that was very similar to what happened with Hotshot. So I definitely want to talk about that a little bit more and just kind of keep that conversation going. And I just want to thank you guys for watching along with these videos. Until next time, I just want to remind you, as always, hey. Read comics every day.